All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me finally during our last presentation. Um, and well, we will be talking about, bringing it together, coming with a consensus on one solution that we discussed last time. We will also create or come up with a plan to how to implement the solution and also discuss any implications that may be involved and come up with the criteria that really knows or highlights that this would be a successful solution. Um, Now, starting off, let's just go over the possible solutions that we had last time. So we all came up with, hiring more staff. That would be uh, the most, I guess, the most obvious solution would be to hire more staff if people are coming in during rush hours. Also, we came up with the solution of buying some extra espresso machines so they can help out with those rushes. We also suggested to only allow people to get a certain amount of Wi-Fi based on the certain amount of money that they spend or the certain amount of drinks. We also came up with the idea to build an extra room in the facility to uh, just specifically for those people who were going in there to work on stuff, maybe a quieter place. And also, the last thing would be to do nothing and just let the overnight success basically go away and the hype to lower down. And so, yeah, those were the possible solutions. Now, I is do we all agree that those were pretty reasonable solutions to solve Drip and Dry's current problem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, great. So I think we should come up with a vote. I think that would be the best thing would be to go ahead and vote on the how impactful these solutions would be. Um, and so my recommendation would be to go ahead and uh, yeah, just basically raise your hand if you think that the solution is uh, good to implement for Drip and Dry. So I was a little confused on one of them. I just wanted to ask for clarification from you guys. So I know we suggested to hire help and also to uh, buy extra espresso machines. Is that like all one solution, or do you think that those are two separate solutions since uh, because of the budget?
I think they were one solution because the extra barista was like part-time or something, and the espresso machine we found out was only like $2,000 to $3,000. So I believe it was one solution.
One solution. Okay, yeah, because it is a bigger budget, and also did we agree on, I know there was two possible similar solutions as to spending a certain amount to get X amount of Wi-Fi or buy a certain amount of items. I think it'd be good to clarify that now that we're, coming up with the best solution. So I just wanted to get some feedback from you guys, see what you guys think.
So I mean, with the Wi-Fi one, I think the best option would be for that one is to buy certain amount of items and you get a certain amount of Wi-Fi. So that kind of pushes them to, if they run out of Wi-Fi time, to continue to buy items.
Okay.
Yeah, and it stops them from lingering then or staying on the Wi-Fi and then just kind of lingering because that's why they're there likely. So
Okay. Awesome. All right, and then obviously we have the build an extra room and the option of doing nothing. Um, so since it is a smaller group, I'm just gonna ask you guys directly what you guys think would be the best solution for this. Okay, can we come up with an agreement? Maybe a combination of solutions.
Do you want to start, Danielle?
Yeah, I'll start with my opinion. Okay, so I think the machines and building a room and the Wi-Fi. So I really think the best option, because I mean the Wi-Fi, people can still continue to maybe buy one item and continue to linger. So is that really going to help solve the problem of it being overcrowded and people just being there for the Wi-Fi? Because you could buy something small depending on how much you get of Wi-Fi for that item. So I don't know, it would help, but I don't really know if it would fix the problem. But I feel like buying another machine or two machines will kind of help the problem, because you will have, depending on how many drinks the machine can make, say it makes two at a time, you have 4 extra drinks being made for another customer or something. But then I also really think that building an extra room could be a possible solution, to have it designated for an IT room. So then the certain people who are actually working are going to that room specifically and not cluttering the cafeteria area of just sitting there and taking all the tables. So I really think that either one of those solutions would be the best, maybe. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay. I think the best solution that probably takes care of the majority of the issues that Drip and Dry is running into, and certainly not all of them, because I don't think we're going to find a solution that takes care of all of them on the budget. But I think the best solution, like you said, Danielle, is purchasing 1 or 2 more machines. And then with that, I don't remember how we phrased the answer for it, but with that, if we need to purchase additional staff too, because I'm not sure if just the machines would be enough as far as getting people in and out of the door. I think that probably will help. Well, it definitely helps for the line for ordering food and drinks being long. It helps for, I think, customers struggling to find parking spaces. Maybe really depends on why people are coming into Drip and Dry. I would assume some of them are just coming in to get a coffee and maybe spend a little bit of time there, and they're just filling up spaces if they're waiting to order their coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it also takes care of like the atmosphere of Drip and Dry being loud and chaotic, and their at capacity during the busy hours. So I think that solution is probably best in my mind anyway. The other 2 solutions do kind of take care of like the lingerers and letting people sit off, either the extra room like an IT room, or the Wi-Fi idea does take care of the lingerers and kind of makes it more of a friendly environment. But I don't know if it takes care of all the problems, or more problems than just those 2 really. So my vote would be the machines, and then seeing if we can maybe hire like a part-time barista or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It's good to hear that feedback, because I didn't really think of the negative effects of implementing it. In my opinion, I thought maybe building the extra room would be helpful, but now that you bring up all this other stuff, it wouldn't really solve um, the lingering problem, because it's just gonna pretty much make a room for extra people to go in there and linger around. So that's a very good point. I like that. Now I guess since it's a smaller group and we've already discussed this, then we can go ahead and move on and decide that getting extra help and espresso machines would be the best solution, since it wouldn't be a solution that would cost a lot or over our budget. So I think that's fairly reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to add anything? Do you guys think it'll bring up any more implications?
No. Because I mean, the only reason, like, kind of looking at it too, 1/8 of every of the customers say that Drip and Dry looks busy, they don't go in. I think it helps with that problem. And then on average, people who just purchase one beverage stay for 20 minutes. So maybe I don't know. I mean, that solution doesn't address, the people who linger, people who use the Wi-Fi. But then again, maybe that's just something that we have to accept as a coffee place. But really, I mean, if you guys want to move forward with the one I suggested, I'm open to whatever you guys think.
Yeah, definitely. So just to clarify, you said that the espresso machine / hiring more help was the perfect solution for you, right? Well, not the perfect, but like the most effective.
The one that addresses the most problems, I guess.
Right.
Because
Okay.
we're not going to have a solution that fixes everything, but.
Right. So some of the points, just reading back to what I have in my notes, you said it would help reduce the traffic. It would also maybe make it look not as busy. So that way people would, we have more opportunity to earn that profit or that revenue. And yeah, it is a very good point because I've read articles where Starbucks have the same problem as far as people lingering, maybe not purchasing anything. And so I think that it's just kind of like something a con that you have to deal with. And if you address other problems like not having or getting more people to help out during those rush hours, I think it'll eliminate most of Drip and Dry's problems, like you said. And so, yeah, I'm definitely all for that. I was thinking, like I said, building an extra room would be the most effective prior to this meeting, but I can see how building an extra room might solve a problem in the short term, but create an even longer one or even postpone the problem that they're having with the lingerers. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And also, if we implement the one where they have to buy a certain amount of items to receive a certain amount of Wi-Fi, that's not going to necessarily stop them from leaving and making it look busy, basically. So yeah, is there anything you wanted to add on, Danielle?
Nope. I mean, I'm good with the buying new machines and the extra help, because I feel like that's going to be a way to get the customers in quicker who are just coming in to get a coffee and to leave and not just sit around with their friends or work or anything. So then it'll help look like it's not as busy to the people who are walking by and then choose not to come in.
Okay, awesome. Well, now that we have a proposed solution, we've come to a consensus. Now it's time I'll decide the slide presentation. I was trying to add you guys, but Danielle, I think I added your SNHU email. But yeah, I'll just be sure to go ahead and add you by the end of this video. Also, we will also present the solution, present it in detail, which I already got pretty much the cons and the pros of this. Now, the way we came to a consensus was basically just, we straight up asked each other what was the best solution, what are the pros, what are the cons, and how do you guys think this would be implemented on the best way? Are we just do you guys think we should just hire help for those rush hours, or do you think it's more like of a whole day thing? Or as far as the espresso machines, I know you brought out some numbers, Scott, you had some numbers for an estimation of how much an espresso machine costs. So I was just wondering if you could tell me those numbers again so I could just write them down on my notes.
Yeah. I mean, it can vary, but I think a commercial one and like I don't know qualities of espresso machines, but probably somewhere around 2,500 to 3,000 around there to buy it there is the option to lease too. But again, you're really just paying. Eventually, you're just paying the cost of it. So
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And then if we could also maybe come up with a number for a part-time employee, I think part-time would be ideal for this kind of situation. Um, do you guys, uh, if you want, we can go ahead and research it right now. I mean, for an average barista part-time,
I thought I had it
yes.
last time. I don't think I have it written down.
That's
I don't
no
know.
problem. Um, so I used to be a barista actually a couple years ago. So I was making like around 30,000, but that was full time. Maybe not even 30,000 on. No, yeah, with tips it was like around 30,000. So I would say part time 15. Does it sound reasonable?
That sounds reasonable to me. Because I
Yeah,
would think that they would only need the extra help during the rush hours.
Right.
Because with the extra machines during other times, say they get a high spurt of more customers coming in than usual, they would have those extra machines to help them out. And you don't have to pay the machines except after you purchase them.
Okay. Good point. So
yeah. I just Googled it. Glassdoor has Starbucks barista salaries around 23,000 per year. So,
mm, okay. All right. It's
but I don't know if
23 a
that's full or
year.
part time.
Okay. All right, awesome. So at least I got some numbers on that. So um now let me see here. So yeah, let's go over how we would implement this. We would just basically hire new machines. They each cost about 2,500 to 3,000 each. So two of those would be perfect and ideal. And the average barista, like you said, was around 23,000. So part time, I would say definitely no more than 14, 15,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a doable just because it's within budget. Um, it'll reduce the traffic or the capacity and the problems that they have, and so it'll make it just overall less busy and might attract people uh, that aren't coming in. Did you guys have something to add to that?
I think that also with that solution, the extra profit that they will be bringing in now with the extra help during rush hours and then the two extra machines, I mean, probably in the end of it all, the extra profit will end up paying for the extra help. So, I mean, we're going to use that budget now to hire them, but in the end, it'll basically repay itself, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'd agree. I mean, we have 38,000, and it's not stipulated on like if that's just for a year or whatever. But if we consider it, maybe it takes a year for that profit to come back around, then we're still under budget, and they're going to make up that profit in years to come. So
Yeah.
I'd echo that point. Yeah.
Okay. So the cost, or I'm sorry, uh, we will basically earn profit from hiring or I'm sorry, I can't speak today. Ordering the two machines would basically make us break us even. It might earn us a profit, is opposed to. I'm sorry, guys. So okay, so those two machines would go ahead and earn us a profit in the long run, even if we hire people. That's what you guys are trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay. All right. All right. Got it. All right. I'll go ahead and be sure to write it down because that's a very good point. I like that. Um, and yeah, I think we've came to a consensus today that hiring machines and people to handle the rush hour is our best bet. Um, Also, we highlighted the cons of the other solutions and why they're not good, such as building the extra room or doing nothing. Also, uh, we brought out the consensus that spending or implementing the certain amount of Wi-Fi for certain amount of items that they buy, it would not be such a good idea, just because it wouldn't stop the lingering problem. It, in the best solution would be to go ahead and hire help, maybe part-time barista or kitchen help, and also hire or buy 2 espresso machines. And as it does have maybe some cons to it, I think a lot of the pros weigh it out. And so it would be the best solution just because it'll help solve a lot of the problems that Drip and Dry has as opposed to the other solutions. So, and that's how we came into consensus today, just by talking about it and giving each other's input, which I believe was highly successful. Now, some of the notes that we put out on how we're going to implement this is to just go ahead and buy it and train staff. Also, by implementing this, it will help reduce traffic. It's not going to make it look as busy, so perhaps it'll bring in more traffic and raise up the revenue. And also, in the long run, the profit that we make might be able to cover the cost that we have for the employees. So these are all very good points. We also brought out that the average espresso machine costs between 2,500 to 3,000. So that's definitely within our budget. And then our last note that I made here is that the average barista part-time would make around 14 to 15,000 a year. So yeah, that's some very good notes, and we will go ahead and I will go ahead and type in the slideshow, send it to you guys, see what you guys think. And yeah, I'm just glad we have came up with a consensus to one solution.
Yeah.
All right, awesome, guys. Do you guys have any questions, any more input on this?
We still have to get a criteria for evaluating the success, right? Is that next?
Right.
But on this part,
we might have
on this
been
part, yeah, I don't think I have anything else. You covered it all really well.
Okay, so as far as the criteria, I thought we were discussing it during this meeting, but could you give me a little bit more, like, how do you think we should handle this criteria? Like, should I write it out to you guys, and like, how do we do this?
Do you mean, okay, so the second part of your agenda, just to I'm sorry, okay, you're doing the PowerPoint root causes solution. I guess I'm looking at something else then. Let me, just the project resources, we've got rationale and feasibility. How the solution will be implemented and then evaluated for success. So we do have to have some kind of criteria how we're going to evaluate if this is successful or not, or if we need to, revisit our solutions. There's probably a number of ways we could do that. I can think of like maybe customer survey. Obviously, I guess our revenue will be one way of evaluating, if we're making a profit. After so many months, we're making more profit or more revenue, which means we're bringing in more people and things like that. Obviously, that's going to be a measure of success, that more people are actually coming instead of leaving.
Oh no.
But then I was thinking of something like maybe like a customer survey or something.
Sorry, guys, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry.
Hello,
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Oh, now I think you froze.
I can see you.
Yep, we can see you.
Can you hear us?
No. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Dang it. All right. All right. So you said customer survey, also looking at the financial numbers to see maybe brought more revenue. Okay, that's great. how about also calculating capacity, like how often are they at capacity after we implemented this? So, okay, I think that would be a good idea to look at the capacity, to evaluate it. All right. Set my phone down. And all right, customer survey number and check the capacity. Were there any other problems that this might solve in the long run, or that we know that it was successful? I know that other problems were like the parking lot, but I mean, I think this would help solve that. I mean, if less people are, or more people are coming in and out, like you
The
said,
quicker you
Scott,
get it out, yeah.
then yeah, I mean, it would also solve that, I'm guessing. So also maybe checking the parking lot. Um,
How would we check the parking lot though? So if there's other businesses around necessarily, like we don't
that's
know if
right.
people are specifically at Drip and Dry or at other businesses. So that would be kind of hard to monitor.
Okay.
I
I
wonder.
think.
I wonder if it's something we could include, like in the survey, though, like a question of, how many times or
Parking.
oftentimes I go to Drip and Dry and the parking lot is full, or something.
Yeah,
You
that
agree
would
or
be-
disagree, something like that. And then
Okay.
just kind of get a feel for how many people, come and the parking lot is full or can't find parking. And if it's a high number, then we can, look for other solutions to try to address that
Okay.
after we
All right.
implement.
So in the customer survey, include a parking lot question stating how often they park, or how often they look for parking.
Or how often a parking spot is available, or it can be a question like, a parking spot is available when I come to Drip and Dry, and then they can agree, or is usually available when I come to Drip and Dry, and they can agree or disagree. And then if we get a lot of disagrees, we know that we still have a problem with parking.
No.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. And then lingers, I don't think there's a way to calculate that or measure that, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure our solution would really be able to address that very much, but not really with our solution anyway.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be something. I feel like it wouldn't be something we have to evaluate for success, because we already know that this probably won't solve that problem.
Mhm.
Okay.
But we want to focus on the problems it will solve. So like, are we making more money? Are we getting more revenue? Like you said, seeing how often we're at capacity now, because that was one of the big problems, that we were always at capacity. Ideally, now we'll see a percentage decrease in how often we're at capacity, or see those times kind of change, how often we're at capacity. And then again, anything else we can address on the survey.
Okay. Perfect. So you pretty much summarized all of it. Is there anything else you want to add in order to criticize if our solution was effective? So far, we have the survey, also including that parking lot question. We have looking at the numbers, such as the revenue and the profit, checking capacity. And I think that would be all the problems we would be able to solve with this solution. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, so we have came up with the criteria as well. I will be sure to go ahead and send it out to you guys as soon as I have it typed up. Did you guys want to add anything to today's meeting?
I'm good.
Nope.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being patient today. Yeah, we basically gone all over this, and it's been fun working with you guys. I'll be able to send it out as maybe like within the next 30 minutes. How does that sound?
Sounds fine.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Danielle.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thanks.
Have a Great day.
Okay, bye.
All right.
You
Bye.
too, bye.